In 2020, AGC created a Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion position to serve as a catalyst and conduit in one, partnering members with resources, opportunities, and advocacy. Two, to further support diverse businesses and communities of color in their concerted efforts to compete for projects and provide employment in all aspects of today's vast and expansive industry. Having DEI as a primary focus matters because, for so long, DEI has not mattered. And the magnitude of its devastating effects has long impacted generations of communities of color. Because intentional action steps are necessary in order to remove systemic barriers. We must provide and create spaces where everyone can participate.
If you speak to my mother, she will say that this construction industry, specifically the construction industry in the Twin City area, has been difficult the entire time she's been around, which has been 35 years. That there have been obstacles and challenges for those individuals who are marginalized, who are diverse, who are disadvantaged. Be it, she was a white female. A female in the mid-'80s starting a company was not necessarily well received all the time, and she had her own struggles that she had to deal with. You couple that with the fact that my father is a Hispanic man, and they had challenges they've faced their entire existence. Move forward 35 years, there's still a myriad of obstacles here that we're each facing as a woman-owned company, as a minority company. And unfortunately, I don't think that necessarily it's gotten too much better. I believe that disadvantaged individuals or populations, communities still face so many struggles. And I'm very thankful that AGC of Minnesota reflected on what was happening, not only within the Minneapolis-St. Paul community, but on a national scale. And they decided collectively that they needed to embrace these challenges and get their heads wrapped around these challenges.
The diversity program that the AGC here has, I like it. I know it's fair. I'm treated very well as a person of color, and you don't get that everywhere. A lot of people have a diversity program and it's more of window dressing for them.
At AGC, we have an opportunity to influence and impact the entire construction industry in ways that says, beyond a shadow of a doubt, yes, DEI matters. Our members will benefit from having resources at their fingertips, from networking and contracting with minority-owned businesses to creating workplaces that are free of harassment, hazing, and bullying.
And so I applaud that their efforts. They have moved forward with not only the position of a director of DEI, but they actually have also moved forward with a DEI Leadership Council, where their members who identify themselves as woman-owned, minority-owned, disadvantaged businesses are part of this leadership council that meets on a monthly basis to discuss what's going on, not only within construction, but within their workforce, within their labor pools, within the community. And how can we do better? What are the best practices? What are the obstacles and the challenges? What are the opportunities? And what can be done to strengthen our voices?
Diversity, equity, inclusion program they created. Now we have it. We have a leader, Yolanda, yes. And then we have a committee, and we have good leadership here too.
So I'm involved in the DEI Leadership Council, which has been terrific. I'm the co-chair on that committee. That gives me the opportunity to listen to our other diverse members about how we can look and shape our policy as diverse business owners, work with the larger AGC contractors jointly on our diversity efforts. So it's not just what is it that the MBEs are looking for and trying to get out of it, but also to listen to our larger contractor partners. What are they seeing? What challenges are they having? How can we work together to kind of bridge those gaps? I'm an African-American man, but it's not just about the color of my skin. We've got people on the council that are white women, Asian women. We have Hispanic folks who are in, people that bring not just a diverse in their color or their sex, but also a diversity in their thought and their experience. We have small contractors, large contractors, people that are newer to the industry like myself, and people that have been in it for decades. And so, together we're stronger as a whole when we bring all those joint experiences together.
And we talk as business owners. Back to it's a small town with a lot of people. It's even smaller with less people when it's business owners who are people of color and disadvantaged businesses and women-owned businesses. We all know who each other are and we all talk. We all like the AGC because you guys are fair and we're treated fairly. When we do bring up issues or when we do voice our opinions, it's listened to. It doesn't mean that, the doors swing wide open and, a beam of sunlight comes through and everything gets fixed. But the fact that our issues are listened to, things are taken into consideration, we know that's not going to be changed overnight, but it's nice to actually have somebody who is sincerely listening and trying to make changes for the better. So, and I personally feel the AGC has done a great job in that regard.
What we did is after we met Yolanda, I reached out to my leadership team, and then we invited Yolanda up to speak at our annual safety day, training day. And when we did that, I was a little nervous because I had a bunch of farm kids, central Minnesota, tough construction workers. I was kind of concerned on how they would take the topic as well as somebody talking to them in their training about it. But it was fantastic. Yolanda just came in and met them where they were at. And the neat part was it was about the culture of care. How do we take care of each other? How are we there to represent and be advocates for each other? Because it's always been, let's focus on the task, but don't ignore the people around you. We got to work on, and that was really the message, is you got to look out for the person next to you and really take care of them, because if one person's struggling, we all struggle. And that was the neatest part about it. It wasn't about our differences. It wasn't about different genders, our sexual orientation, our race, any of that. It was about what's in common. What do we have in common? We're all construction workers. We have to include everyone. Just talking about some of the topics of inclusiveness and our challenges with mental health and with suicide within the industry, being able to talk to them and really share about, it shocked them, frankly, how high that suicide rate is in construction. And being able to then talk about how do you look out for that person next to you, because they're not used to talking about feelings. You don't talk about how you're feeling or how you're doing. Answer is always fine. Well, we got to look deeper than that. We got to look, make sure that we've engaged, we have a relationship with these people, because that's who we really have. If we're broken, it breaks the entire system. I'd seen the most engagement, the most interaction that I've ever seen with any of our speakers at Safety Day in my 13 years. And the most positive responses back that I ever received from any of my field people after she spoke.
It's been proven the diversity is great for businesses. Businesses that are more diverse are more profitable. You have different viewpoints, you have different ideas, you have different ways of approaching problems, different solutions. Diversity is it's a win-win-win.
The culture starts, from me and down, but it also comes from the bottom up, because the company culture truly are the people who work there. I've seen so much that has been brought to the company from different perspectives that really it creates a much richer flavor within the company and within the industry.
This DEI position is designed to be the conduit that unites possibilities with opportunities for all.
I am really representing DEI to tell AGC communities to work with us, but then minority communities to say, join AGC. That is my message.
And so while AGC has a specific diversity director and a diversity initiative, they're more than that. and you're able to partake and you're able to utilize those resources in whatever ways help you and help your company.